Hey friends, welcome back to Melly Sisters YouTube channel. I am Neha Sara Nelson, a student of class 9. In today's session, we are able to understand and study about velocity. So first almost understanding about velocity, like, share, subscribe and comment your point of ideas related to this topic today. And let's move on to today's session. First almost understanding about velocity. What do you mean by velocity? Yes, velocity is the displacement in unit time. First almost we understood that what all thing matters in this main topic. They are unit time. Yes, equal interval of time, the period of time. And now as we understood that time has a great course in this one. And now the second one is about the displacement. As well as understanding and looking forward to displacement, we knew that the straight line distance whether in same direction and magnitude. So that comes over there comes the displacement and there arise the displacement as well as velocity is the displacement in unit time. As well as understanding about that, we could understand that velocity is a vector quantity. So now let's understand about the uniform velocity and non-uniform velocity. Before that we also need to understand these two things also. The speed and velocity will be same. First almost understanding about the speed. Speed is a scalar quantity where direction doesn't matters. The magnitude also comes as arrives. So the direction doesn't matters in the case of speed. So now we need to understand that the speed and the velocity will be same when the motion is in a straight line and the distance covered in unit time would be same. So then only speed and velocity comes equal. And now the next one I need to say about this velocity is that if the direction of motion changes, of an object changes, the velocity of the object will also change. As well as we understood that when a change occurs in the case of the direction, then the velocity also of the object would change. So we could take many examples for that. So we could calculate, how can we calculate the velocity of a circle? If I am going to take a circular path, what would be the velocity? As we knew that the circular path, there arrives the non-uniform velocity. The direction alternately changes where the velocity also changes, right? For understanding that, we need to study and understand about the uniform velocity and the non-uniform velocity. So let's understand what do you mean by uniform velocity. If the magnitude and direction of velocity of a moving object is equal or a body is equal to equal intervals of time, it is known as, or it is said to be in uniform velocity. Okay, when the magnitude and direction of the velocity of a moving body is equal to the equal interval of time, the period equal period of time, intervals of time, that we would say as equal intervals of time, whether it won't change, it comes under and it can be called as uniform velocity. Now comparing the case of non-uniform velocity, the thing you need to understand about that is if the magnitude or direction or both of a moving body is not equal at equal intervals of time, it is said to be known as velocity. As well as we studied that over here in this case, the non-uniform velocity, when the direction or the magnitude changes, the velocity, we studied that the velocity of the object or the body will also change. And now we also understood that the displacement in unit time is known as the velocity. Now we understood that the displacement do not take but equal interval. The intervals of time is equal. That's why the velocity, the case velocity, the term velocity arrives there because of the equal intervals of time. That's why it is known as the non-uniform velocity. Or it could be said something else, like if it was a time equal in having an equal intervals, you cannot even say that that was a like we could say that something else it is. But whether the non intervals would be different, displacement also differ, right? Like that, whether the differ won't differ like that, then also you could say that it's a non-uniform velocity. So this is the case how the uniform and non-uniform velocity acts. As the case I told you, as an example first about the circle or the circular path, if a vehicle is moving, what would be the velocity of that body or that object? So the answer for that question is very clear right now. It won't be a uniform velocity, it will be a non-uniform velocity, whether the itself the time intervals will be the same. When I am taking a circle with like from starting from the initial position from the u, which is 0 meter per second, okay, and now sorry, we are not even calculating velocity or the speed. So if it is the speed is just 0 from the initial position, I am going to the next one with an equal interval of time, which is 1 second. From 0 to 10 meter it is 1 second, and from 1 second that 10 meter to 20 meter it became 2 seconds. Like that, the period intervals of time are same, but rather it is whether it is a non-uniform velocity. It is because of that we knew that the direction would change. If I am drawing a circle over here, if I am moving like this, the line would go towards this way, not like this, right? So different type of distances happen in this, so many displacement happens. This is why we call that example as a non-uniform example. So there are certain other examples for uniform velocity as well as non-uniform velocity in our day-to-day life. Like when light travels through vacuum, we could say that a uniform velocity in vacuum. Okay, now in the case of the next one, so before understanding about why do I said vacuum, it is because of that the time of the intervals of time would be the same. Now the next one I am going to say about is a train traveling at a uniform speed in the same direction. Now an example for non-uniform velocity, I could simply say that a motion of a stone, as you knew that the displacement would change, sometimes the direction of magnet or something else. So many differences are there also in the case of a throwing a stone upwards. Now or a motion of stone dropped from a height. Now a bus starts from a bus stop and is moving forward. Now again swinging on a swing, which also can be applicable in our day-to-day life. So these are the applicable non-uniform and uniform velocity purposes that is now also happening in our society. So this is the thing what we had studied in today's session. So I hope you understood all about it, and if you have any doubts to clarify, put them on the comments, as well as put new ideas and new topics which is needed for you in the next video. Before that, subscribe, like, share, and comment. So let's see in the next video. I'm Neha Sara. Till then, bye bye.